And we're back again with Dr. Williams. Got some questions for you. We're talking about the history in the past. What about in 100 years later in the future? Where can one go to visit Freedmen's Village? Where is it at? What does it look like? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Freedmen's Village does not exist today because that's where the Arlington Cemetery has covered that. But we do have a few symbols left. For example, when Freedmen's Village was closed, many of the people moved into Arlington, and they brought their churches with them and different things. One of the churches would be Mount Zion.
Oh, wow.
Mount Zion, they still have the bell that came from Freedmen's Village. The church was called Old Bell. So they have that. You can find that in the vestibule of Mount Zion today. There are many other things. For example, Lomax, the original boards from some of the houses they tore down in Freedmen's Village came over to help build Lomax.
Oh, wow.
Of course, they have since rebuilt Lomax several times, and you couldn't find the remnants of those boards there again.
Oh, wow. So the churches that were started in Freedmen's Village live on today.
Yes, they do.
In modern times.
And you find them in St. John's and Macedonia and those churches, yes.
Oh, that's fascinating. And we still, Howard University is still a legacy of Freedmen's Village as well, and it's doing so well. And speaking of that, and preserving history and moving forward, I hear that you have a fabulous project, a labor of love, I like to say, that you're working on, and that's the Black Heritage Museum. Can you tell us a little bit of that, about that project?
Yes, we're going to build a museum, and we're going to build it very close to the site of where Freedmen's Village was. And you can find it on the map. We'll find it down near the where the naval annexes are. Right there is where Freedmen's Village is. Of course, that's a cemetery now. And then our museum will be these last two buildings over here. Arlington worked very hard to get that land through the county manager and Arlington County. There was a swap of land, and we were able to acquire the land.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So we do have the land. It's just a matter of waiting for those buildings to be removed. And once those buildings are removed, then we will start actually building our museum.
Oh, that's great. And now what time frame are you looking at to build the museum?
Well, moving the military out of that naval barracks has been quite a problem. They were due out before, but along came BRAC, and that stopped, and they still use it. So we hope in the next 5 or 6 years that they will be out of there. We'll have those buildings down, and we can start actually building our museum there.
And now, will it have, what types of things will the museum have inside of it that you're looking to?
Oh, we're looking at we're not only looking for things that will show what existed back in those days. For example, we have a fellow that has the shoes of his grandmother, who actually walked from Freedmen's Village up to New York to claim her property. And when she got there, the property was gone, and she had to come back to get her deed, and she walked all the way back. We have the deed, and we have the shoes. So that will be in there. A number of other things will be in this museum also. It's going to be kind of a shared museum with the Arlington Historical Society on one end with the air relics and et cetera. On the other end, you would have things like Freedmen's Village and et cetera. And we have a space for educational projects where people can do research, come in and hold research projects. Students can come there and visit. We hope it to be large enough that we'll be able to hold events there, since we don't have an event place in Arlington at this time.
Like a conference facility.
Yeah.
And that sounds absolutely like a wonderful project that you're doing. And it's interesting that we're here in Arlington and we see these various things. We see the cemetery. Pretty much I do. I travel that way every day, and not to know that it's full of such rich history and to be a part of that. And we thank you, Dr. Williams, for working so hard these many years to see this vision come to fruition and educating the community. So